Alright, YouTube. So, when I first got my DR250, I noticed that the kickstand was ridiculously long, and that even at 5'7", 5'8", not the tallest guy in the world, but I'm definitely not the shortest either. I could barely get on this fucking bike. I had to stand up on the peg to get on, and it was a balancing act just to get off the damn thing. I just got this bike and already done some things with it in my free after work. So it has fresh brake fluid in the front reservoir, fresh brake fluid in the rear. Well, I'm not going to show you because it's on the other side, but let me show you what was in this bike. That's the brake fluid that was in the front and the rear reservoir. So it's pretty gross, pretty old. I wouldn't put it past me, but that the same fluid from 1993. The oil's clean, and pulled off the fender, took the plate holder, and then just drilled 2 holes and mounted the plate there. Took off the mirrors and then put one of my bar ends on there. So that way, a mirror that doesn't look ridiculous. Anyway, so this is what I did, because this bike was fucking ridiculous, how tall the kickstand was. And I mean, even especially with the dirt tires, and I know when I go to those, it's gonna be probably damn near impossible to get on and off this bike. So I probably should have done a little bit lower, but I think I cut out about 3/4 of an inch and then put a socket between these 2 joints and welded across, and then welded here and then here vertically, and then ground it down, painted it with just some touch-up paint in the meantime, and then I'll probably pull this off at some point again and repaint. I just don't have any black paint. So, but if you have Harbor Freight welder and you have a bike like these, and this fucking kickstand is just way too long, and that's what I did. I just literally just measured it out, cut it in half, threw a socket in there. I think I used like a 7/16 or something like that. Whatever's the next up from a 1/2 inch is. I don't know. I don't know fucking standard socket sizes. Anyway, so this is how the bike sits with the handlebars straight. It now has some vertical, or some lean to it, as before, where it was completely straight up and down, and I'm sure any sort of gust of wind would have just knocked this fucking thing right over. So pretty happy with that. I'm hoping that when I do go to the more street friendly tires, that I don't have to chop this thing up again. I don't think I will, assuming that it's probably gonna sit as it did before, which was okay. But it's okay if it does. I'm not going to chop it apart. But again, we'll cross that road when we get there. So, but just wanted to do a real quick video and just kind of explain to you guys, like, if you're having this problem, that's what I did. Chopped it in half, threw a socket in between, welded it back up, threw it back on there, and it's working fine. If you don't have a welder, you're not confident welding, take it to a local fabricator, and I'm sure they can do it pretty cheap. So anyway, peace out, guys.